Good morning, it's me, Pearl from Pearl in the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot, and we are here to look at the balance of the divine masculine and divine feminine inside of self, understanding that whatever energy we find, whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our external environment, in our interactions with others, and if we want to see changes, we need to make changes within ourselves. And before I get started, I'm also running a TikTok stream, and I would just love it if somebody would put for me in the little Q&A box, collective readings streaming to YouTube, Tuned In Tarot YouTube or something like that. And if it fits, personal readings are offered afterwards. But thank you for joining me here today. And so what we're going to start with is, I had to get the themes. I forgot to shuffle this last deck because I got all excited to get onto the internet. And I wanted to make an announcement. So I have a tour coming up for Pearl in the Prayers, which is the music that I do. I'm going to start it in late August. I will have dates for you soon. But we're going to hit like all the main cities in the East Coast, like the Northeast. So Boston, New York. We'll go down to DC probably. And it's going to be 2 weeks long. And half my band is in LA. They're coming out. And then I have another half of the band here on this side. And we're going to meet in Boston. We're going to start at Berkeley, which is where I, myself and my bassist actually went to school. And then the student who I teach, because I'm also I teach production, and I produce artists. And this kid I've been working with for 3 years also got into Berkeley, and he's a drummer. And so I'm really hoping that we're going to be able to coordinate and he can play drums for us at the show that we're doing at Berkeley, because this will be his first semester and he will be there, and we're all going to be coming to the city at the same point, like his parents, and it's going to be kismet. And I hope you all join me on that music tour. And at the end of every show, I'm going to do meet and greets, where if you want to do a personal reading like the ones that I do here on TikTok or YouTube, you can go ahead and join me for that after those shows. And I will do like probably an hour or so of readings for people. So that's all coming end of August through the beginning of September. If you're on the East Coast during that time, come and join me. So we're going to get started with the reading. For those of you that are watching on TikTok, I may be looking over here. And for those of you on YouTube, I may be doing this. So don't mind me. And you can hop over to whichever platform you prefer, because I'm probably going to look here more. But what we're doing is the collective tune-in that I do every Monday. We're looking at the masculine and feminine side of self. And we're going to start by just calling to mind right now why you even come to tarot readings. Like what you think that you need that will make you feel better, messages you are looking to hear, something like that. And I just want you to call that into your mind and just hold that. And what is it that you think, if I heard this message, or this thing happened in my life, or my person said this, or this happened, or whatever that is, just call that to mind right now. And let's check and see how tuned in you are. That is what your ego right now thinks, because you're thinking what you think you need. And this is what you actually need. I didn't think about it today, so I can't clarify if this is matched up, but I can clarify this is how I feel, and I know that I'm supposed to be here. So this is the Queen of Wands. Like, I just announced my tour, my first tour, actually. I've never done a tour. I've only done like shows in like the regions I've lived in, and this will be a pretty big deal for me, and I'm paying for it all myself. So I'm excited and also not beholden to anyone, and I can just make my own decisions. But that is exactly what the Queen of Wands is going to do. She's going to have a vision. She's going to have the confidence that she's going to be able to have the courage and can take the risks and can do the thing. And so that is what we're seeing from her energy right now. And that is what both parts of self need: vision and the confidence to be able to go after it. If you thought, oh, I need my person to do something, or that person may need vision and confidence to do the thing that you would like them to do, that you want them to do. So this is the theme today of the reading, and we're going to check in on this energy for this week and see where we are. And the reason we do this is because if we like where we are, we keep doing what we're doing. We're doing great. And if we don't really like where we are, we need to change it up. And that's the only reason we need to look at the energy. We don't need to look at the energy to find out what our future is, because we create our future. You create your future by knowing where you are, having the awareness of the choices you make, and knowing where you want to go and making those choices. It sounds simple. It's only complicated because you have to make sacrifices of comfort along the way, because your ego wants you to be very comfortable. Comfort is the thing that we're always seeking. So your ego, if it feels it, even if it's not healthy, like your ego is more comfortable receiving abuse than it is not receiving abuse if you have been in abusive relationships throughout your life. So it's going to choose abusive relationships, right? All right, let's take a look. We're going to start with the divine feminine side of self today, because she had one extra card showing than the masculine. That's usually how I do it, how I decide. And she's overthinking and overfeeling a little. And when I'm saying she and referring to her, I'm just trying to make the energy distinctly about the energetics of the self regarding emotion, feelings, and receptivity, openness, etc. But this energy will exist within any person you're thinking about. So if you only listen to the reading trying to find information about a person who is a different gender than you, or identifies in a different energy of gender, whatever, it's about the energy within them as a whole. So don't disregard one side or the other. It makes sense for you to actually absorb all of the information. And then if you watch the replay, which will be here on YouTube, you can go back and listen for themes, because the first time you usually listen to it, you're thinking about your person. That's really common. But then listen to it again, or go to some of the parts that were really meaningful to you and listen to it as if you're hearing information you didn't know about your own self. That's the most powerful thing to do in these readings. Okay, let's actually read the cards. The top of the deck, this is the overall headspace for me. This is the place that I associate. It's like the thing that you have overall on your mind for the feminine is wonderful because it's very in alignment with what she needs. It's the strength card. And this is courage, bravery, confidence. This is the willingness to control the beastly side of self, the part that is reactive, the part that is seeking fulfillment from outside our ego that wants others to acknowledge who we are and what we do. It's being able to feel confident regardless of who is watching. And Divine Feminine's got that overall in her mind. The niggling thing in the back of her mind that's underlying all of her thoughts is the Page of Swords. And it is definitely this feminine energy in this card. This is the Dreaming Way Tarot, by the way. I love this deck. And she is watching. She is most likely watching her person. She's curious about what's going on. There's a strong connection that she feels with the person. And so she feels drawn to kind of keep checking in. 11:22 on the clock and 8:44 on the timer. Dang. And I love that. Okay. So what we're seeing here is her curiosity about her person, because she's starting to understand that wherever her person is in regards in their life, and it's going to match up. They're mirroring. So if she sees her person and her person seems down and not really in alignment with his positive feelings, then she's going to have to acknowledge that there must be a part of herself that is feeling that way, or maybe she will obviously resonate with the way that that person feels. But also she'll see the other things. She'll see the changes. She'll see oh, if I have confidence, and oh, look, my person is having confidence, and so she's looking to see those changes, and she's curious, and she might be making little communications, and they're very truthful. They're honest. They're not overwhelming for the masculine energy to receive. They're straightforward. And she's basically, it's like learning how to communicate. So let's go now to the first thoughts on her mind. The first thoughts on her mind, we have the King of Cups, the Ten of Swords, the Three of Wands. So the end of separation with a masculine energy is in sight. She can see the rainbow. She can see the light at the end of the tunnel. There's been a feeling of being stuck, or she's been thought a lot about being stuck in this separation from this person who has maintained that he is above these emotions or feelings that he actually has for her. But she can see the light at the end of the tunnel. She knows the promise that is there of this person who's really good person in her mind and who's loving, kind, compassionate, caring, sensitive, psychic. Like, so I just heard righteous, just, which I don't always associate with the King of Cups, but it is true. And, you know, Cancer energy, home, safety, and somebody who has a lot of love. She's that's the first thing on her mind, is seeing the promise of this person, seeing the future potential, which can be dangerous because currently when she faces the truth, the Ace of Swords, this isn't here yet. The Ten of Pentacles is in reverse. So while she can see the future potential, she's also acutely aware, maybe even painfully with the sword energy, that it's not happening though. But in this case, she's asking herself, well, why is that? And what we're getting here is she has an awareness that it's from emotional underdevelopment, or the emotionally underdeveloped expression. Like somebody doesn't know quite how to express this as a teenager energy. I always say you carve your initials into the tree with the Page of Cups. And then you step back and you're like, this is going to be here forever on the tree. That's going to be here forever. And, you know, your person is like, okay, thanks. I like, that's sweet. Right. But you don't know how to communicate to me beyond those little gestures. And, but what I see is that you're taking steps to communicate that, because you have this true love, you have this deeply held feeling in this heart space. You're absolutely able to imagine that someone else is going to be able to start expressing these feelings to you. Oh, thanks for the roses so much. Thanks for the gifts and the likes. I appreciate it. Please follow me on TikTok as Pearl's Prayers. And then if you're on TikTok, you can hop over to YouTube and follow me at Tuned in Tarot. There's a link right in my profile. So next up, this future potential thing. I love this for you, Divine Feminine. I'm really fucking proud of you. So while this is the first thing on your mind, oh, I see the future potential of this person. You're also like, but I am letting that go. I'm having to kill my ego here, which is like, hey, future potential. And I'm having to be like, no, future potential. Now is what is happening. And the rebirth that I desire must transpire for me to engage with this person. So I will remain silent. Even though this person feels very deeply for me, I will not be continuing to like engage in that eternal back and forth cyclic energy. I'm going to end this anticipation, constantly being in a state of anticipation in my mind, because I know that if I'm constantly anticipating something happening, I'm never getting to the top of the roller coaster so that I can go, you know, have that thrilling experience I'm seeking. And that's why I'm making a decision, because I'm facing the truth that my 10 of Pentacles is not here right now. I'm going to make some choices to give it to my motherfucking self, because there's the Queen of Pentacles and she's holding her pentacle and she is able to do what she wants. What do I want to do? I want to go on tour, and that's what I'm going to do. Right? So she's like, I'm no longer going to base my life on future potentials. I'm going to take action now. I'm not going to sit around in this Two of Swords energy and hope that the universe makes a decision, because when I'm honest with myself and when I entertain a new self concept, I can do the things that I was hoping other people were going to do for me. And I can hire the people to do the things that I want to free my time up so that I can focus more on my creativity. I am fully capable of that because I am the Queen of Pentacles. I have nurtured not only the relationship with my think about what I have done. The feminine side of self has had this emotional connection with a person, very deep feelings, and that person has been unavailable, and the feminine side of self has also not been able to express her material satisfaction because of the unavailability. And despite that, she has held on to the connection, nurtured it lovingly, and grown independent and able to do what she needs to do for herself. And that's extraordinarily powerful. Okay, let's look at her heart space now. That was what she was thinking about herself, and I am freaking excited about that. And here's how she's feeling. This is the overall feeling of the heart space. It is the Chariot card. This is a feeling of moving on, pushing ahead, going forward, surrendering to your desire, and believing and having faith that your ego doesn't have to be in control of the reins for you to get to where you need to go. In the back of the mind, the Ace of Swords. This is a big theme for this feminine energy right now. The truth. The truth. And this card always reminds me of spiraling thoughts or loop thinking. And it's clarifying here this Page of Swords energy. So if she faces the truth, she has to admit that she has been a page in her communication skills, and that she has also been just sort of watching something and just kind of spiraling and loop thinking about that thing, that person, or what that object, that desire, whatever she's focused on, that she's been watching. And she wants to move on from that behavior and honor this new self-concept that we're seeing her develop in her headspace. So bravissimo. Oh, I just talked to my friend last night before I went to sleep. And I had planned. I when I came home last night, I realized I was going to do this tour, and I called her to tell her and invite her out with me, and I told her this is my that tour is my 6 of Wands, to do 11 cities in 2 weeks, and like that's my 6 of Wands, that's my victory, and here it is right here, Divine Feminine, 6 of Wands. Now what's interesting is I don't read reversals, but I don't put the cards back in a reverse order in this deck, and I don't shuffle it in reverse. So if I do get a card in reverse, it's significant, more significant than in another deck for me. And so this is an internal victory. This is when this card is in reverse. Sometimes I can think, or any cards, it will make me feel that something is happening inside. The success and victory she's experiencing is inside of self, not externally with a person, but within herself. She is overcoming this tendency to always see future potential and just wait for things to happen. She's not going to be able to claim her success if she doesn't take the steps to go out and meet the ships, right? Hey, this is a free reading. Basically, I'm doing a big collective reading. I'm going to keep going. It's probably going to take an hour at least, and I'm a little less than half, or a little around halfway through the feminine and masculine energy, and then we're going to do oracles and healing. So stick around. You'll get plenty of messages about questions you have. And then if I have stamina at the end, I will answer some $11, $22, or $33 questions. So next up, the truth. The truth that she's facing is that the 10 of Pentacles that she wanted is not exactly what is here. Something else is here. And the one that she wants is like right around the corner, because she's changing her thoughts about herself. She's doing the affirmations. She's doing the work. It's 11:33 on the clock. There's 3 people in the room, and I just saw 19:36 on the timer. Hey-oh. So it's definitely, she can tell that she's going in the right direction and that she's heading towards her dreams. She's not attached anymore to what it looks like. She's like, she used to have, it's funny. I think she thinks she used to have a clear picture, but the realization right now that I'm having is that she really didn't have a clear picture. It was just amorphous. She was like, oh, when I have this person, I'm also going to have this career and I'm going to live in this place. And she wasn't really doing the work to see exactly what she wanted because of the fear that she couldn't have what she wanted. So she was really not being as specific as she realized she wanted to be, because if you want to manifest something, you have to feel what it feels like. So you need to know what your daily life is going to be like. What are you going to be doing? Well, I'm going to be going on tour doing music. So I'm going to be staying in hotels. I'm going to be driving across the country. I'm going to be reading cards on the fly. I'm going to be doing a lot of improvising. I'm going to be I'm probably going to have to stay in touch with my person over social media and text and phone calls, and unless they come out with me or are part of that tour with me. So it's like she's starting to be clear. Like before it was just like, oh, I want to be with this person, and now it's like, oh no, I want to clear. I want to be going to do this. I want to be making this amount of money. I want to be able to purchase a home here. I want to be able to be around my family for the holidays. So I want to be in this part of the country at that time. Like I want to, like, there's so many layers here for her in regards to this energy. And has totally learned her lesson, and is in her heart space. She's feeling the sacred union within herself, which suggests the ability to have this outside of self. And this is what I am committed, which last Monday, if you follow me on TikTok, you may have seen the affirmation videos I created. And those affirmation videos, the very first one, she was trying to work on her being committed. So she said, I'm committed. I have such a strong commitment to the things I desire. How is it that I am this committed to the desires of my heart? Like, she's learned this spiritual lesson and she's ascending and she's feeling happy. I'm seeing holy laughter experiences. If you've never had that before, you will, and it's ecstatic. Then we're getting the Page of Cups. And what's really interesting about this Page of Cups is it's being clarified by the Nine of Wands. And we're seeing the feminine energy here, isolated and alone, holding on to a torch and healing. And this is where she is seeing herself. This lesson has taught her that she can do things on her own, that she has to face her wounds, that she can't claim victimhood. To claim victimhood is emotionally underdeveloped with this Page of Cups energy. And the reason she continues to hold this torch and maintain this isolation is because she is feeling that she is healing this true love experience she's been having. Clarifying this Death card, we have the Eight of Cups. So she's walked away from a state of mind which is one of only future potential. Instead of seeing only future potential, she has to define what that future would be. What is the potential she wants? It's like, if you think it's going to be a certain way with the person, what is that way? What does it look like? Where do you live? How many houses do you have? Where do you go? Where do you shop for food? Do you have time to be with your family? Can you walk your dog every day? Do you get to do yoga and meditation and write your journals? Because I didn't have time to do that this morning. I didn't build that time in this morning. I got home last night at 2 a.m. after traveling over the weekend to see family and friends. And when I got home last night, I went and checked my schedule like I've been committed to doing, which I have consistently doing because of the affirmations that we started last Monday. And I wrote down the idea that I got while I was driving the car, talking to one of my friends, which sparked me to be like, why am I holding myself back from doing a tour? What is stopping me from just picking 10 cities and calling up 10 venues and booking 10 shows? And even if I only show up with my laptop and a microphone, I produced all the backing tracks and I can perform that way. And I'll still slay that fucking shit. Like every single person in the audience will be completely silent and spellbound by my captivating Queen of Wands, right? And I got like all pumped up. I was like, why would I stop myself from having that experience? And then I got home and I wrote down in my schedule all the things I wanted to go over with my assistant today so that we can plan and schedule, make a spreadsheet, and make it fucking happen. So no longer is Divine Feminine going to sit around being like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I could do a tour? Or wouldn't it be cool if I could like meet a person? It's like, oh, I'm going to walk away from any type of behavior where I'm just like, oh, that would be cool. And be like, well, what is cool? And how can I make it cool? And can I do that right now? Do I have to wait for that? Is there a way for me to experience this right now? Because there always is. Because later is not even real, and the past isn't even real either. You can have false memories. Did you ever hear the Mandela effect? Like, come on. Either we're shifting timelines or we just make a bunch of shit up collectively. I don't know. There's actually nothing happen. We just turn the game on every time we wake up. That's when we turn the game on. Like, who knows? But play the game at least. Don't sit there and wait for, Santa Claus to bring you your magical career. Like, you need to tell Santa Claus what you want. Otherwise, he's not going to bring you anything. So this Two of Swords, which is finally being decisive, finally taking action in some way, finally making a decision to ascend in consciousness to a new self-concept and detaching from an old self-concept of this Ten of Pentacles energy. Good morning, Sarah. I'm doing the collective reading. You can moderate for me. I would be so happy. I will do personal readings at the end for $11, $22, and $33 if I have some stamina left. And we're just finishing up the feminine side of self. We're going to do the masculine side and then the oracles and healing oracle cards. It's lovely to see you, and I'm excited you made it today. And then we have here clarifying that decisiveness. Wow. The Six of Swords. So again, we have the Chariot and the Six of Swords. So we have movement. We're finally moving and we're surrendering to the consciousness that these dark thoughts that were here, they were holding us back. And instead, this is interesting, right? Because we're giving them we're actually letting them pull us forward. And the way that I look at this right now, the thought that I'm having is that the idea that we could fail is the thing that's pulling us forward instead of the way it used to be. The idea that we could fail is almost laughable. We're like, my son said that he told his grandparents like 3 months ago that he was sick of being he considered himself scrawny, and he wanted to eat more food because he's always had trouble. He's not really been he's not liked eating a lot, which I probably wished on him because I had binge eating disorder and my whole family has food issues. And I think like when I was pregnant, I was like, oh, I just hope he doesn't have to worry about, wanting to eat too much food. And then I like manifested the exact opposite for the poor child. But he wanted to be stronger. He wanted to like have a more defined body, and that was important to him. He's a Gemini, so he started working out, and he told his grandparents that he wanted to do that, and apparently his grandmother scoffed. And then he just posted on his Instagram account like his 3-month progress, and he's really it's working. He's doing protein and stuff, and he's working out, and he's getting to what he wants to look like. And so that scoff, that idea that you could fail, you're like, I laugh in the face of failure, and I let that motivate me. When I was in high school, I wanted to play violin, or junior high. I had been playing piano for years but never played a string instrument. And so I went in and I said, I want to play violin. I got a violin, and I told my teacher the reason why I wanted to play violin is because I wanted to play the Bach duet for 2 violins. I had heard it, and I was just completely spellbound by that duet. And she scoffed at me, and she said, you'll never play that. Later, I learned what type of person she was and understood that she was sarcastic, joking, like knew that if she said that to me because of my personality type, I was stubborn and I was rebellious. I would get in trouble at school for not doing bad things, but just being like belligerent. I said once to a teacher in 7th grade, he said to us, did anybody ever tell you? And it was like some rude ass shit. And I was like, did anybody ever tell you were an asshole? And like the whole class was like, oh shit. Because I would sit there. I came from a Catholic school, and I did like, I did my homework, and I like I was a fairly respectful student up until that point, and I just lost my shit on that teacher, and everybody was like, "What the fuck? We did not see that coming." And then ever after that, I was just kind of like, if I didn't like a class or I didn't like a way of things being done, like I would let you know about it. I'm pretty sure the teachers were like, here we go. But that was my energy. So she knew that I was that type of student. And when she said that to me, I was like, I'm going to play the Bach duet for 2 violins if it is the last thing that I do. And it's 11:44 on the clock. And that's what I did. When I graduated as a senior, she and I did that duet together. And I never consider myself a great violinist, and I did not continue playing much longer after that through college. I maintained piano, and I ended up studying electronic production, but I'm not a violinist anymore. But I was really, it's that kind of energy I'm seeing coming. The divine feminine learning her lessons, that she can let her negative thoughts hold her back, or she can let them motivate her to keep going and be optimistic about her future. You can be optimistic about your future. That's fine. But living in this space of waiting for this future potential to unfold is emotionally underdeveloped. And that is what this divine feminine has healed. And for this, we are very grateful. Okay, so now let's take a look and see what is going on with the masculine side of self. Now, if you're just joining on either platform, let me just clarify that what I just read is the feminine side of you and your person. So there will be elements of that will apply to both of you. And now I'm going over to the masculine side of you and your person. And so the same thing applies. There'll be messages for you both. Okay. And we're starting with the headspace. I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot for the divine masculine. Now, this is the 3 of Swords, and it is one that is most interesting because it shows these entanglements, enmeshment, like, which is at the core of unhealthy codependency. You can have healthy enmeshment, you can have unhealthy enmeshment. You can have, in this case, this is embracing a truth that your lack of decision-making skills has hurt you in some way. This can be about heartache, about being in pain, and it can be about the separation. And so the divine masculine right now, overall on his mind, is thinking about this separation, and he feels bound up inside about his lack of decision making, which has caused him to not be able to go forward. But we just saw this fantastic reading on the feminine side, in her confidence, who is like, listen, this is what I used to think, but I don't think that anymore. I don't think that. I know that all I have to do is make a choice and go forward. And that's the healing that we're seeing taking place. So when you see readers tell you that the feminine has to heal before the masculine, this is what they don't know they're talking about. They may be thinking about people externally, but what they're talking about is what happens internally, that your person, whether masculine or feminine identifying, your person has to experience a healing of this thinking about decisions being painful that they've made, the separation, the wounds they received, the whatever. That is what the feminine side of self is healing. If they're isolating themselves, this is why. So try to keep that in mind, because you miss a lot of subtle energy that will be helpful in your life when you're only thinking about another person. You think about another person and what they need to do, and what would be much more effective is thinking about yourself and what you need to do, because you're the one who controls your reality by your perception of it, and you have to heal your perception of it in order to have more positive experiences. So the masculine's overall headspace is in pain because of the separation. The thoughts that he has experienced about it have been painful. He has been bound up inside by his lack of making choices. He may have been entangled with other people. There may be some bonds that he can't not cut because of the unhealthy enmeshment that was there from a previous marriage or long-term commitment or career. He's thinking about all of that. But in the back of his mind, underlying all of his thoughts and decisions, is the Page of Wands energy. This was the first card out today in the TikTok reading for the masculine energy too. So we know that this is a very important thing. And when he told us in that reading about this card, what he said is, I'm excited. I'm excited. I've embraced the eternal aspect of the connection, and I want to make an initial communication. I feel a spark. I feel like a chemistry, a rekindling. I want to go to there. I'm curious, and I want to explore, and I want to see where it goes. Now, what's interesting is both masculine and feminine have page energy in the back of their mind. They have these new thoughts, new ideas. New thoughts and new ideas, that creates new experiences. And that's what's really exciting about this part of the journey. And the divine masculine is most likely just very nervous and about all of the entanglements, all of the things that he has said or done or whatever. But the first thing on his mind is the 9 of Cups. So he is really wanting to share, to express his wish fulfillment. He has been selfish. He has been guarded in his energy. And there is this real desire now to unburden and unleash all of these feelings. And they're very deep. The current energy that he's experiencing, we're seeing a little bit of overthinking, but he's releasing his fear of this fresh start. He wants to take this leap, and he is going deep into the subconscious to figure out the things that are making him feel afraid, because he really wants to come forward in fresh energy and express what was in those 9 cups, the wish fulfillment, what he truly desires. This is why he needs this confidence that is the theme of this reading. The outcome of the energy of, going deep into the subconscious and digging out the fears that are keeping you overly cautious is that this Knight of Wands energy, the inconsistency, the ineffectiveness, the inefficiency, the player energy, the sexual energy, that is released. This doesn't exist anymore. It's no longer holding him back. He's not going to be in the deep shadow of that, because he's digging out from his psyche what even makes him do that. It's like me talking to my friend Julie on the phone last night, and the way that I got to my tour to decide to build my confidence to be like, this is what I need to do, is I was expressing my awareness that when I do tarot, I want to do it. I get up every single morning, and I don't procrastinate or delay. And I do normal things like get my coffee, take my dog out, take a shower. I want to do yoga and morning rituals, but sometimes I'm so excited to do tarot that I'm just like, no, I'll just do that after, because I just want to do it. And this is how I felt about music as a child. But because I put this pressure on music to, bring me my bread and give me the notoriety that I needed so that I could finally feel seen, and like I wasn't just being ignored, and like all of the things my ego needed. My music became about my ego, and so I couldn't have music until I killed my ego in regards to it. And that's what my victory is, right? Do you hear how that's like the masculine energy? He can't have the feminine person until he kills his ego, fears, and anxieties about it, okay? That's why these readings you really have to be self-reflective. So I told her, I was like, my fear, I have these expectations of music that I don't have with tarot. I'm detached from tarot. If something isn't, like, if I'm not getting a lot of views for something, I don't take it personally. It's a message that's being channeled through me. Like, I didn't just come up with it. Like, the universe gave the message. It's the universe's views, not mine. I'm like detached from it. It's not, my ego is not running the show. I'm very much in the Chariot energy in regards to my tarot reading. And I enjoy the connections with people and the healing energy, right? So I said, I have to feel the same way about music. And I have to take this pressure off of music to be the thing that makes me happy and in a way that satisfies my ego. And then once that's true, I'll be able to have music, and it will be just as successful and just as fulfilling as tarot, and I'll be just as excited. And do you know what happened? After I said that, I came home and I was so excited. I was fucking almost 2 in the morning and I was dead. I stayed up till 4, like with my brother on Saturday or my sister-in-law on Saturday. And then I stayed up on Saturday night or Friday night, Saturday, all night, stayed up super late. And I don't do that anymore. I'm like, I get sleep. So I was dead tired and I couldn't wait to write down what I was going to do for my tour. My brother was still awake and I was like, hey, he drives for his job. And I was like, how much do you make for 2 weeks? I'm gonna pay you to drive for me for the tour. We're gonna rent a van. We're gonna pick up like my LA part of the band in Boston. We'll meet with the East Coast part of the band. We'll rehearse for a day at Berkeley, and then we're gonna hit the road and tour for 10 cities. Do you want to do it? And he was like, "Fuck yeah!" So I was so excited, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, you know how I feel? I feel the way I feel about tarot. I could cry about it, but I won't because I'm gonna keep reading this divine masculine energy. And I was holding up this card of and didn't even tell you what it means and it wasn't even tuning into it, but that's what I was just saying. The masculine is so excited to express everything, these deeply held feelings, something that he was holding back because he was being overly cautious and being perfectionistic. We're seeing in this Knight of Pentacles energy, the slow moving energy. It's like, oh, I'm going to do a tour, but I have to do this and that and the other thing first. I need to do all of the things that will happen after I do my tour before my tour. Right? Like I need a label. I need the funds for that. I need this and that. I'm like, bitch, you could go book the tour yourself. You can figure out how much you want to pay people. I'm like, you come up with a number, raise the money for it, and go your damn self. And when you go there, you're gonna get paid for the shows you're doing, and you're also gonna read cards. So you're gonna be just like I was able to drive myself across the country. That trip taught me that I could tour because I was like, oh, even if it's only me and my laptop, I can drive to this city and pay for a hotel by reading cards that day. That's what I did to get here, and that's what I can do to go to my show. And yeah, it's not a typical job. And no, I don't know exactly how it will work out. And I'm not sure exactly. But you know what? That's what you do when you want something. If you want it, you can sit there and think about it all fucking day and just focus on the material aspects of it and how you can't do it because of this, that, and the other thing. Or you can just figure out a way to do it. And so the divine masculine is figuring it out. If I'm figuring out how to do music and do what is creative and do what I have always wanted to do, then my person is figuring out exactly how to express to me that he wants to have this solid, stable relationship and this solid, stable offer. And he's not going to be cautious about it anymore because he's facing his fears. So instead of being a perfectionist, he's going to take the leap. And what is he going to take the leap to? Oh, I don't know. Towards the thing he loves the most in the Two of fucking Cups. If I wasn't experiencing this right now, I wouldn't believe it either. But this is what is happening when I changed my thinking last Monday. Last Monday to my person won't make a decision or commit to me. When I stopped focusing on that and changed it to I am committed. On Tuesday, I got up on my day off and I wrote down what I was going to do for last week. And I had a lot to do and it was overwhelming. And I broke it up over my week, just like I do when I normally work with my assistant on Monday, but we couldn't do it that week. But I did it myself because I changed my thinking the night before. Hello. The next morning, Wednesday morning, I get up, I look at my schedule. I've got a chunk of things on my Wednesday schedule. And the first thought I have is, oh, I'm fully committed to doing this today. And I like was like, I literally was like, because I'm a Pisces rising and a Leo sun and Leo moon, which means I'm spontaneous and very feely. I just kind of go with the flow of my energy and I'm rebellious. And so if I have a schedule, then normally my Pisces is like, I just really don't feel that right now. Like I'm feeling sensitive. Like I just need to kind of like tune out. And then my Leo side of self will be like, yeah, just do what you want, man. Like, like you're in charge. Like, just do what you need to do. I support you. Like you're the best. Okay. And that's fine. Like that, you can be like that sometimes. But it turns out if you want to go on a tour, you need to tap into the confidence of the Leo that you can do that. And you need to commit to it and have the strength of your conviction in what it is that you can do. And the way that I used to think when I would open my schedule and see, and you know, and that's progress for me because I didn't even used to have a schedule. And then my life was a shit show constantly. But so I just thought, okay, so little by little, I've built in some structure. I started to trust that I wouldn't fail at it. I started to not be ashamed if I didn't do the things I said I was going to do all the time because I'm a fucking human. I stopped judging myself and make myself feel bad. And then lo and behold, I started to use the schedule in a positive way for myself. So if I would have seen that in the past, my immediate thought would have been like, wow, that's a lot. But you know, I can get done what I can get done, you know. I'll feel it out. Like if I don't feel like doing that, that's okay. We'll do it tomorrow. And that's true. There's nothing wrong with thinking that way. But I prefer the way that I feel today. When last week I looked at my schedule and was like, wow, that's a lot. But I'm fully committed to getting all this done today. So the divine masculine has figured something out very similarly and is ready now to give himself what he thinks he wants, who he thinks he loves. Now we're going to look at his heart space. This is the thing that he was thinking about that was painful. And it's the 5 of Wands. It's the feeling of being blocked, the feeling of having to compete for something. Like I'm getting a sense that divine masculine is feeling like he has a lot to do. And so there's a lot of people competing for his time and energy. And the separation has been because he has been like having to maneuver and fight to create, to carve out space for the feminine energy, for what he loves in his life. And he's been stuck because there's been this struggle inside that his decisions kind of put him in this position, but that hasn't served him. The niggling feeling he has that's clarifying this excitement energy, this wanting to make a fresh communication, have some kind of a initiation or rekindling, is letting go of external opinions and ideas that he was holding on to that were keeping him in this struggle. You know, thinking he didn't have enough money, or he needed to have something in place before he could do something, or that, you know, people were going to care about what was going on, or people were going to see that, you know, they're like, or that there was just competition in general. Or he was going to have to face all this. He's just like letting it go because he's excited. He just wants to be able to have what he has held close to his heart, without caring what other people are going to think about it, which absolutely requires Queen of Wands energy. If he wants to accomplish this, he needs Queen of Wands energy. This energy is an energy that doesn't give a fuck. Like at the end of the day, you don't like me? You don't like me? Well, that's your loss. Like I give zero fucks about that. Like I am not diminished by your inability to enjoy moi, right? And how I do and what I do. Oh, you don't like that? I love to ruffle feathers. People that are square, they can't handle it. I used to live in Massachusetts, had a toddler and a tattoo. I don't know. Try to live in a bougie neighborhood in Massachusetts with a tattoo and make friends. Good luck. Sorry, Massachusetts. Did not have a great experience of you. I'm sure it will be better when I move back because I'm in a better place. And I give zero fucks. So if you don't like me, I'll be like, oh, you don't like me. Okay, keep it pushing. Yeah, that's right. I have a fucking Yankees baseball cap. I don't even watch baseball. Fuck the Red Sox. Like that, literally, I can't wait. I'll find somebody who likes to have fun with me. And I got some advice actually from when I drove for Lyft. There's some people that I would pick up sometimes, be from Boston, and we would talk about how it is to try to make friends there and stuff and how difficult it is. And they would say, did you just like give people shit? You just have to give them shit. Like just be like, you just kind of have to be like pick on them, like, and then they'll be your friends. Like, and I realized, I was like, you know what? I bet that's right. So, all right, let's take a look. What is it, divine masculine, that you think you are thinking about? That is your wish fulfillment that you have withheld, that you've withheld something, the abundance of something, and you're wanting to express it. What is it? Oh, it's nothing much. It's just this Ace of Pentacles, all your wealth and abundance, prosperity, and the Six of Pentacles, the reciprocity and the generosity. This is what you've withheld. The synchronicity of that is just fucking amazing, because the Nine of Cups can be about being selfish and withholding your abundance. And these two cards are about being generous and having wealth and prosperity. So this is what you wish. You wish to be generous. You wish to make an offer. This can be wanting to make an offer of engagement, etc. And then we have, in the current energy, clarifying this fear, anxiety, and taking the leap. What have you been afraid to do? You've been afraid to get up off your ass and go towards your higher calling. That's what you were afraid of. That's what the current energy has been about. And you now want to walk away from that very toxic behavior. All this long while you thought, oh, this person has to walk away from a karmic partner who's a terrible, horrible being. And you were all in your ego about it and stuff. And you went through and you heard the readings about that and you listened to them for a while. And then they kind of made you feel bad and you didn't listen to it anymore. And you transformed to thinking about it. And you're like, oh, no, it's not the person. It's not another person outside of anything. It's a behavior. It's an unwillingness to move from a place where you felt comfortable, even if the comfort is not comfortable, really. You're just comfortable with the discomfort. You're like, oh, this is a familiar discomfort. I'll just stay right here. Like, I won't buy a new chair. I'll just stay on this chair because what if I don't have enough money to do that, right? So I'll just stay here. I'm going to keep myself safe. I'm going to survive this way. No more. The masculine's toxicity has been his inability to get up. There's not been anyone else there keeping him there. It's been himself not being confident enough to make the moves that he needs to make. And that's okay. That's okay. Because now, instead of this Knight of Wands, player energy, inconsistency, inefficiency, ineffectiveness, blah, 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 we are seeing this Page of Swords energy, which is the courage to face the truth, pick it up, and start to wield it, even though you don't quite know how. We're also seeing a feminine energy watching. And the divine masculine does not want to be seen as a player. He doesn't want to be seen as inconsistent. If he's not messaging you back right now, it's because he wants to be able to give you the consistency that you're asking him for. If he messaged you right now, maybe he couldn't prioritize you in a way because he has all this other stuff that's competing for his time and energy. And that's why the separation is here, to protect you from the experience that you are having of inconsistency. He also is taking that bravery, because he has to take that bravery and courage and bring it to this decision making. Cancer energy is notorious for not being able to make decisions. And this Father of Cups here is in reverse, and it's coming out with the Two of Swords. But this card also represents a time of peace. It's like once you see the truth, you kind of have to sit with it before you can really make a decision. And he's starting to kind of give himself a little bit of room to acknowledge how much emotion is there and how generous he wanted to be and how much effort that was really going to take and how difficult that is and how it does require you to sit for a moment and think about where you want to go and how you want to go there, because you have to heal this withholding energy. The Nine of Wands here, which the divine feminine has as well. I didn't even show all the cards that are in the Eight of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Two of Swords, the Nine of Wands. I mean, there's so many cards were repeated across these two readings. So here we have the masculine and the feminine. And it was, I just can't. It's so synchronistic. The feminine has had to heal these wounds of waiting, and the masculine has healed these wounds of withholding and perfectionism. That's the energy you've been feeling, Sarah. And then we've got the High Priestess clarifying the Two of Cups. So divine masculine is trusting in his intuition. He's trusting in the divine feminine to actually go through with this real life external meeting, not in the ethereal, but actually physical coming together, breaking bread. He's trusting in that. And he's also trusting in the yin yang aspect, the counterpart aspect, the fitting, those pieces fitting together. Wow, 54 minutes for the divine check-in, and we are just now getting to the oracles. So I will continue to read oracles. I'm not gonna lie, don't know if I'm gonna have time for personal readings because I have to do another reading for a client today, and I have another reading later tonight. So I probably won't get to personal readings today, but if you want to book a private reading with me, you can go to the link in my profile and you'll see exactly how to do that there. You can also become a member so you can see the next reading that's going to be coming up on Thursday, the Tell Me Everything spread. And that will be an hour to 2 hour reading. It's usually around an hour for divine feminine masculine energy, just like the ones you see on TikTok, but it's full length. And then most likely I will be doing personal readings on TikTok for $11, $22, or $33 on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. Okay. Divine feminine. Let's take a look at your messages. Oh, I did this in a weird way. Hang on. No, that's yes. No. There we go. Okay. I have to I put them in a weird order that I don't want. So I gotta change this. Okay. And these. I have Hallelujah choir in my head. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I don't know why, but that just popped into my head. That's funny. Okay. Because this reading. All right, let's go. Here is where the divine feminine, this is what you need. So this is the part of the reading that is most important. The first part of the reading is the part that everybody wants to see because they're like, what is the right person thinking? What is my person feeling? But this is the most important part of the reading because this is where you get your advice for what you need to focus on for this entire week that will help you so that next week when we have a reading, it's even better. Okay. So we're getting right now, you are in the positive light traits of the Midas or miser energy. So you are no longer hoarding money or emotions and having an obsessive fear of losing your wealth. This is overcoming my Chiron placement. I feel it. I'm living it. It's awesome. I'm so happy. 12:11 on the clock, 57:22 on the timer. 100%. This is entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold and a delight in sharing life's riches. So divine feminine, stay in this generous energy, stay in this honoring whatever you're working on in the world, whatever business you might have or creative endeavor you're pursuing, you're in the light attributes of that this week. So, this is the perfect week for me to plan that tour that I've been talking about. The Holy Spirit is here to help you feel peaceful because you should, because you've accomplished what it is that you desired. And even though that might not mean that you have an actual person here that you wanted to have by your side, it means that you have created the person right here in the room, the one that's, holding the device or watching the device right now. You have created the type of individual that you wanted to be in this present moment. And when you do that, you attract an energy that can see that, appreciate that, and reflect it back to you. And so you should feel a sense of peace right now that if, the original goal that your ego had in mind did not pan out the way that you expected, it is only because you are going to receive so much more. And the way that you know that is if you think about the person who tried to manifest the thing you wanted, what that person was like compared to who you are now. You know that your concept, the future potential, the rainbow that you can see, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow that you can see, isn't it a bigger pot? Like, isn't it much more expansive? Doesn't it include so many more layers? And that is an indication that your person will be the same. 12:12 on the clock now. I'm seeing you say, can I ask a question? I'm not going to be doing personal readings today, but you can, of course, catch me on TikTok on Wednesday to ask personal questions for $11, $22, or $33, or book a private reading on my site. You'll probably get your question answered as I'm reading. Usually if you're called here, that's what happens. So thanks for joining me. And this is the mindset that we need to have this week. I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. Didn't I? Did I stutter today? I don't think I did stutter today. I think I spoke clearly and swiftly the messages that you needed. And I told you that you were comfortable even in places of discomfort because you were used to them, and that you needed to be a little uncomfortable to get out of your comfort zone and go after what you desire. That was a big part of the reading today. So I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. So go back and listen to those messages of discomfort and apply them to yourself if you were applying them to your person when you heard them the first time. Hey, look, it's the closure card, and you don't get it because it's in reverse. You don't get closure, you give closure to yourself and others. You don't expect closure, you demand closure from yourself. And there's no, like, people always think that there's going to be this experience that's going to finally make them feel some type of way, but it's giving yourself the some type of way feeling that you're desiring that causes the experiences you're seeking to present themselves to you. So give yourself closure this week about something. If you've been on the fence about walking away from a certain behavior, person, idea, job, location, allow yourself to just finally make the decision to do that. Give yourself closure because that other person won't, or leave this location because it isn't going to please you the way that you had initially expected. Find what you wanted from the location or the person and give it to yourself, and then close the door on waiting for future potential with anyone. Your animal spirit this week is the one I always laugh about, electric eel spirit. Bring your ideas to life. I don't know why. I always find it funny that there's, like, of all the creatures, we have like electric eel spirit. Like, of course we do, but it's just funny. 24. So, seemingly out of nowhere, the jolt of electric eel spirit appears to awaken you to a big idea that you are meant to explore. Epiphanies and aha moments are gifted to you right now, so celebrate. Your life has the potential for profound transformation. Inspiration arises in you, electrifying you, so that you can't wait to get started bringing your ideas to life. The revelations you experience now are meant to set you on a new path. So do not be afraid to act. Explore, examine, and do not fear the changes that may come. For Spirit wants to shower you with love, success, and abundance that you hope to experience. Now is a thrilling time of epiphanies, inspired ideas, and innovation. This is a wondrous sign for today. This whole reading is just rife with this energy. The storyline I've been telling you from my own plot line of my life, where I'm excited to go on this tour and do this music, and that is that electric spirit, and it's apparently going to be present this whole week, so take advantage of it. And this is your theme for this week. It is the 9 of Swords, which means we are waking up from the nightmare of being separate from the thing we desired. We are no longer believing the illusion that we can't have what we desire in all these myriad ways in our life. And it is our job this week to face our fears and face our anxieties and call them out as the illusions that they are. The masculine side of self. You are in the light attributes right now of the slave energy. So you're no longer giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. Instead, you are surrendering, just like the divine feminine, to your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. So no longer do you feel that you can't make these decisions. You are surrendering with trust when you make the decisions that you want to make. Wow. So our theme is the Queen of Wands and vision and divine masculine. You're getting help here with your guardian angel energy, specifically with your vision. So you're being supported in holding your vision and having confidence about it. And in also, this is a reassurance, faith that the feminine energy is doing the same thing, holding this vision of your fulfillment, the wish fulfillment for the both of you. We're getting energy flows where my intention goes. Being very, very mindful of this. I feel like you walk around a lot and you're not as aware that your energy is flowing where your intention is going. And if you didn't set your intentions, then how do you know where it's going? You need to set intentions for your energy at the top of the morning. Stir them into your coffee. Oh, actually, I'm glad I said that because I want to drink. But stir those intentions into your coffee. So, do you intend to have a bad day today or a good day? Oh, you intend to have a good day. What does a good day look like? Okay, well, I make time and space for myself to connect with others. I move my body. I enjoy nourishing foods, pleasing foods, not just, things that are supposed to be changing the shape of my body, because I love my body. I accept my body. I flow with my body. I listen to my body. So I'm going to do that today. I intend to pay attention to the needs of the lovely creature who relies upon me, my familiar here, or my children who have some needs. I intend to try to honor their needs while still also being aware and honoring my own. I intend to share collective messages personally. I intend to do that either through my artwork, through my interactions with others, through simply meditating and receiving messages and writing them down and leaving them for posterity. I intend to make sure that my person knows how much I care about them today. Whether they do the same thing for me or not, I will do that for them because I'm committed to showing up every day for my person in some way. And I could go on because everybody's intentions are going to be just slightly different. But if you're not setting your intentions, you don't know where your energy is going. If your intentions in the morning are worrying, if you start your day with like, I don't know if this is going to work out, you're setting an intention for things to go in a direction of waiting or nothing happening, or it's up to you to tell your energy where to go. And you know what? Then it goes there. You've got this freedom card in reverse, divine masculine, because you need to release the idea that committing to something takes away your freedom. It doesn't, because you're the person who decides what that commitment looks like. You define the parameters of every commitment that you have. You define your reasons for wanting commitment. You define your willingness. 12:21 on the clock, 3 people in the room, and 7 people in the chat. You are the one that's totally in charge of where you want to go and what you want to do. Nobody is keeping you from that. You have your autonomy. This is a fear the masculine is consistently having, that he does not have this autonomy. And that's why he keeps testing boundaries with the feminine, just like a toddler. But no tea, no shade, divine masculine. I'm not saying that you're childish. We're all childish sometimes, but it's, if you've never had a loving relationship, how do you know what it feels like when you fall out of alignment for a moment with a person who truly loves you? Like, I had an argument, like a stupid argument with my mom. We've been doing really well together, and we're going to continue to 12/22 because both of us have healed a lot of wounds we've had, and we have a commitment to really enjoying our time together over the next couple of months. And I'm staying here until I move into my new apartment. But we just had like a little fight the other night, and it was our wounds, the places that are still kind of out of alignment for both of us in our relationship. And there was some loud exchange, not too bad really. And then she went to bed or went up to her room in a huff, and I texted her, I'm sorry for making you mad, whatever. And we made up, whatever. And then the next morning, not even before the next morning, we were saying, I love you so much before she was going to bed. It's not that you're never going to be triggered by your person. I saw this on somebody's post the other day. It's going to be that you're always safe, even if you are. That's what your person provides you. That's why this idea of perfection, oh, my soulmate is perfect. Your soulmate's not perfect, bitch. If your soulmate was perfect, you would have nothing to learn. You would have nothing to do. You would be bored. Humans do not enjoy perfection for long. They like the idea of perfection because it's something to aim for or achieve. It keeps you going. It motivates you. It's like the Six of Swords. Being perfect is motivating you. But it is a destination that you will never arrive at. So if you don't embrace that, you'll always feel like you're falling short, but you're always meant to fall short. You're meant to have the experiences that teach you what you desire. And the person that is for you is not a perfect person, and it's not a perfect match. That's why I don't like people getting fixated on that in the Twin Flame Collective. You are perfectly imperfect. You are designed to be safe with that person when you aren't perfect. That is what love is. Love is feeling annoyed and frustrated and angry and resistant, and then understanding that that's not about the other person, and that at your core, you love your child or your parent or your person. And that's what your person has taught you. That's where you're like, I don't know why, like he treated me like shit and I couldn't leave him behind, because you learned that you still have love for people even when they mess up. However, you have to have love for yourself first, because you don't want to stay in a situation where you love someone unconditionally and continue to be abused by them. You can love them unconditionally and set up a healthy boundary. If my mom and I had those arguments every day, all day long, that would not be healthy, and I would not be loving by staying in that energy. And it would be up to me to withdraw my energy, because my energy flows where my intention goes. You're getting Lizard Spirit right now, Divine Masculine. Dream the world into being. Number 38. Have you been allowing your imagination to run amok and dream up a nightmare that seems to have come true? Fear not, for whatever dreaming you did in the past can change today as you dream anew. Wake up from the perception that everything is wrong. Lizard Spirit asks you to open your eyes and consciously dream a better dream. What would it look like already to have what you desire and be the one you wish to be? How might it feel to work toward co-creating this new dream as a reality in the world of the senses, drawing it out of the world of dreams and building it in the world of form? Trust in your ability to dream anew and honor it today, Divine Masculine. Love that message for you. And here is your theme for this week. You need to focus on your craft. This is the 8 of Pentacles. It says Prudence here. Dear Prudence, won't you come out and play? Always comes into my mind. Your work should feel like play. If it doesn't, you're doing it wrong. It's okay. You don't have to be ashamed of doing it wrong. You just have to figure out what it would feel like to do it right. If you are not enjoying your time as a Starbucks employee, as I used to be, you might want to quit and walk away, but that's not always the best path. A lot of times the best path is to sit in the discomfort and discover ways of making it more in alignment with what you do want, rather than sitting in the discomfort and continuing to feel safe because it's uncomfortably not safe. You want to create security by showing yourself that even amidst this job that I'm working that has been unpleasant, I can find ways to change my perspective to make it fun. And then what I really want to do will come to me much faster, because I will no longer be wasting my energy on thinking about what I don't like about the situation I'm in. This is also about, just in general, doing the work on yourself, masculine. Doing that, dreaming the world into being, facing those fears, not letting those illusions hold you back. And now we have reached the ending of the reading. I have given you most of the announcements throughout the whole reading. The only thing I'll say quickly is just the end of the week schedule. It should be, I will be doing some kind of an additional content for members this weekend after the Tell Me Everything spread that comes out on Thursday. And then I will be maybe doing a Grace Strager reading. She floated it this Sunday, but of course I was traveling, so we couldn't do that this week. So maybe we'll try to get back to that next week. It is going to be a little touch and go over the summer, I think. But I will do free personal readings on Sunday, whether she's with me or not, as long as I can. And I will do probably about an hour's worth of them. And you will see that unfold as the weekend develops. Please follow me on Instagram. I do post in my stories when I'm going live. You can also follow me on TikTok if you're on YouTube right now, or YouTube if you're on TikTok. All the links are in my profile or in the description box below. You can click the description box below to send me a deck if you'd like to. I'd love to get some new decks. I don't know where I'll put them, but I know that I'll read them. So if you do want to send me a deck, I'm very open to that. And the link is in the profile. Okay, everybody, let's now hone in on the final messages for your whole self or for you and your person. Here we go. You are both in the light attributes this week of the guide. So this is representing the nature of the divine in life and in yourself, which is very, very, very powerful. And you're leaving behind any elements of placing financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. So you're fully committed to bringing through these messages in the best way that you have, and you're not worried about the abundance that's going to come from this channeling of your creativity or of your craft or your healing energy or whatever. What you're doing is guiding others, and you are allowing the divine to come through yourself and come out and be expressed. You are both getting these two guardians right now. You each have a guardian for the learning experience and for faith. I think of both of these cards as the Hierophant card in a way, because that is really what Hierophant energy is like. So you are being supported in this learning experience about learning to have faith right now. If you have felt challenged about timeline or impatience or anything like that, you're being supported in this energy today. The key to prayer is to forget what I think I need, which is that whole thing I do at the beginning of each reading. I tell you, imagine what you think you need. That's cool. Now forget about it. This is what you actually need. Learn that lesson. Learn the lesson that there are some things you think you need, but there's some things you actually need. So if you're focused so much on what you think you need, you might miss what you actually need. So just forget about that one specific person, job, opportunity right now. Just forget it. If you're like, no, I need that to feel better, just be like, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. What if I said to myself right now for my tour that the only way I would feel better about going on my tour is if I had $10,000 right now for my tour, because I bet my tour is going to cost around $10,000. And if you think that's an exaggeration, factor in hotels, gas, paying 4 or 5 people $1,000 for the 2 weeks that they're going to miss of their work, which is actually pretty modest. And I wish I could pay them more, $10,000. If I was thinking, I need $10,000, I need $10,000, I need $10,000. But what I actually need is what? One investor, a couple of fundraising things, like a windfall from somewhere I can't imagine. Like right now I'm thinking I have to stay in hotels. Maybe the places I stay, they're like, no, you can crash here. Don't worry about it. If I was only fixated on the $10,000, I wouldn't go on the tour, because I can't imagine right now sitting here in front of y'all exactly how I will get $10,000 by August 28th. I don't know. So if I was stuck on that, I might hold myself back by thinking that's what I need. But I know after years of experience that what I really need is to tune in to all of the different ways that the desires I have could come to me, and tune out of all of the fears I have that they won't. Oh, wow. Divine Feminine got the Holy Spirit and peace energy in her reading. And here is the Divine Feminine right now in this image, bringing peace to the union. So it is some aspect of the emotional self finally settling, releasing fears of expression, and being at peace that is allowing this union energy to take place towards the thing that you're desiring. And we're getting the Time to Heal card, which is that transformation energy, the Kundalini energy. It's the 55 card, very significant. halfway point energy. A 5 and 5 make 10 and coming to a completion. All of us need healing at times. And when Snake Spirit appears, it is time to repair, renew, and replenish yourself and your vulnerable heart. Self-care and maintenance work are needed so that your vitality can arise. Give yourself the space to nourish your own well-being. This is me, resisting doing yoga and meditation 12:33 on the clock before I jumped on to do my reading because I was excited to do my reading, but I still need to continue to nourish my well-being. Vulnerability is necessary for friendships and partnerships to work, which means all of us will have tender emotions at times. Be gentle with yourself and others now. Shed the past and step into a new way of being, for vitality is rising in you. This might be a good time to honor the work you have done to heal, grow, and repair any damage within you, within those you care about, and within your community. Celebrate together how far all of you have come in your healing journey and all that you have created. Unburden yourself of anything that no longer supports wellness, prosperity, positive relationships, and well-being, and open the door for healing to occur. And your final card, very interestingly, is the 7 of Wands. So this is healthy boundaries with other people. This is standing up for what you believe in, fighting for what you believe in, but also acknowledging that what you're fighting is truly an illusion. The only thing that's standing between you and what you desire is your own thoughts or ideas about a situation. And you don't have to fight anyone off to get what you desire. You just have to fight off your belief that you do. And you can have what you want. And you can stand strong in your convictions. And you can have healthy boundaries in place with people who demand things from you when what you really should be concerned about is how you're meeting your own needs first. You do have to meet your own needs to be generous with others. There's just no other way around that. If you don't, you can't give. So please, please, please stand strong for your own health and well-being. Thank you so much to everybody who is here this morning for this full collective reading. I am going to have to go now, but I will maybe try to hop on later this evening after a personal reading if I have the stamina. But if you don't see me today, you will see me on Wednesday. Tuesday is my day off, so I usually do not post content on Tuesdays, but you will see me on Wednesday morning. I will likely do a live. I will probably do a live reading, do personal readings. And of course, Thursday, I will do readings on TikTok and Friday as well. So stay tuned for all of that. I will see you all very soon. Sarah, thank you so much. And you didn't miss anything, Cabrini. Just go over to my Tuned in Tarot YouTube link, click it, and this entire reading was just streamed live and it is already there. You can start watching it right now if you missed any of it and catch the whole thing, which was an hour 22 and 33 seconds long. Okay, everybody, see you very soon. Take care. Bye.